There is more to me, Queen Eliara of Elfgard, than my elven magic. Just as there's more to Geico than saving you money, Geico also gives you 24/7 access to licensed agents online, on the phone, or on the Geico app. And while I am a mighty elf queen, I am also a mighty big fan of barbecue potato chips. Minions! More smoky mesquite.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
We are the New York Knicks. I'm back. Back in New York. Well, it's the Knicks. New York. We are the New York Knicks. New York. For this new season we're about to enter, the Knicks is taking no shorts just like winter. New York, New York.
New York be about the Knicks, huh?
But the best thing about New York City is K-N-I-C-K-S.
Everybody say go New York, go New York, go!
All right, welcome to the New York Knicks podcast, episode 309. Just
Today, what were we going to say, Jay? Sorry.
I was going to do a few housekeeping things before we get into the show.
Before even housekeeping, don't we want to talk about the champions, the goddamn champions of the Brazilian League, the New York Knicks? Don't we get, if we beat a Brazilian team, don't we get to hold the belt?
Can I just tell you how glad I am that we did not lose to the Brazilian team?
You're saying how glad you are that we're not the Nets?
Yes.
Who did the Nets lose to? What team? What random team?
The
YMCA girls, like JV squad?
I don't know, they lost to a not NBA team.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. What's your housekeeping?
Also, the Nets lost to the Sixers yesterday.
By the way, you know who hasn't looked that good for the Sixers so far?
Does
Okafor.
it rhyme with Bokafor? Yeah.
Bokafor. That's going to be his new name is Bokafor. I'm sure he's going to have a good career, but he is not getting off to a favorable start. And I clicked on this. I actually was just checking the stats from this game and saw he did pretty poorly. And I wanted to see how he's done in the last couple games. And I clicked on it, ESPN, and the picture they show for Okafor seems like this picture they took 2 seconds after they told him he was going to be a Sixer.
Yeah, he looks so miserable.
He's so mad.
So you know who didn't go 1 for 6 and have 2 points?
He's like, Philadelphia drafted you. Oh, I didn't know the Lakers played in Philly.
Yeah. You know who didn't have 2 points on 1 for 6 shooting?
Who?
Porzingis.
Oh, Porzingis. You're kidding. I have to say, Porzingis, the pick is looking better and better.
I'm starting to get excited. I mean, he hasn't blown anybody away, but he looks like an NBA player, and he's looked better than a lot of the other rookies. Moutier had a 7 turnover game. Okafor had a 2-point game. And Porzingis almost had a double-double. Against Washington, too, who's a good team with a lot of big guys.
I'm starting to think my biggest worry about Porzingis, and there's no real reason there's a cause for fear for this, but my biggest worry at first was, is he going to be any good? Is he going to be soft? Is he going to suck? My biggest worry now is that he's just going to get injured. Because I feel like this guy's going to be really – I not to come over to your camp on this, but I feel like this guy's going to be pretty good. I'm not saying he's going to be amazing, but he's got a lot of freaking potential. And and the only reason that I didn't even worry about injury because he's so goddamn tall, but he could be really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's pretty goddamn athletic for 7'3". There was one in the Washington game, he dribbled and did a pull-up jumper. And you're like, you don't do that at 7'3". Did anyone tell you that?
Yeah, I was giddy during that.
Holy crap. And he shot, now he's finally taking some 3-point shots. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's got a nice stroke from out there. And he gets like beat on defense and then blocks the guy anyway. Because he's so goddamn tall.
Yeah, he's looking good.
He got 10 rebounds last night against, was it last night or 2 nights ago? Against Washington, when Washington's got a lot of bigs.
Yeah, Washington's a big team, and he almost had a double-double. So
I'm not saying they were going all out or anything, and it's preseason, and we shouldn't get that excited from preseason, but I'm a little giddy.
So we are NY Knicks podcast on Vine, and I put up a Porzingis Vine, shattering all our previous Vine records.
You mean there were more than 2 looks?
We had our second highest was 3,800 loops, and our newest one is like 17,000. So I think people like Porzingis.
Do you just put the how do you do it? Do you put the
I have to hold my camera up to the TV and physically record the TV.
That's what I knew you were doing. But isn't Vine like 6 seconds?
Yeah.
You have to edit the video? or you just like stop at 6 seconds?
This one I just ran the whole 6 seconds. I think there was only one video. I did a Jason Smith video where I did 2 3-second clips.
I guess basically Vine. Is there a Vine like app where like you records and just it's automatically only 6 seconds?
There's a Vine app, and you hold the record button down, so you can take your finger off the record button if you want to, put a couple, 1 or 2 second clips together, or you just hold it for 6 seconds and it stops, and that's your video.
Oh, okay, so it's not like you're not like on the whatever technical details. Who cares? That's awesome. You got to stare at your TV and with the camera up more often.
Yeah. So we are also doing all the shows live now.
Yeah. If you haven't noticed, it's because like everyone else, you're not paying attention to the fact we're doing live shows.
Right. We asked for donations last season, so we can get a kind of dual screen live chat room going, and we got the donations, and we did it.
I at first I thought people really were in demand to see us live. I think it's more that we've done over 300 episodes, not getting paid, and we pretty much could have asked for donations for just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
And if the donations were, hey, we want to buy $300 worth of pudding, people have been like, I kind of like the Knicks podcast. I'm going to send the money for the pudding.
I mean,
hopefully he doesn't get it from that Bill Cosby guy.
I do really appreciate it, and it is cool. But if people had no interest in the live rooms, you could have just like bought us an Xbox. I would have rather have an Xbox than this program that 1 to 3 people join every week.
Not a big deal. If you're interested in joining it, we have this technology, and one day we'll have 4 people in the room, and it'll be amazing.
So the links are on the Facebook page. They're on our Twitter, which is NY Knicks Podcast. The website is ustream.tv/channel/Knicks-podcast.
My theory is that they now that they can actually see us in the live room, they're really just upset with themselves for giving us they're upset for themselves because they don't want to see us anymore.
Right.
And so they're like, this is kind of awkward. We don't actually want to look at you.
Yeah. So we usually record Sundays at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time.
One day we'll have a second show during the week.
Probably starting in January.
When Jay's class die down.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there any more housekeeping stuff you got to do? You're going to clean the drapes?
You can hit follow on the Ustream channel, and when you follow, you'll get an email every time we go live, just as a reminder. So it's a cool feature. Over 11 people have taken advantage of this. In fact,
over 11. Do you mean 12?
Yeah, we just got our 12th.
Nice.
Yeah, this week. So we are rolling.
Not as many people are following us as are viewing our clip on Vine.
Right.
Okay, I just want to make sure. You're saying 17,000 is a greater number than 12.
Yes.
So somewhere in between that, we'd like to get the follows up to.
We have a greater number in pretty much everything other than live room follows. But hopefully Anonymous, who's in there right now, is really enjoying this live spectacular.
Well, we have more follows than you have fingers, unless you were born with an extra finger in each hand.
That is true. True.
There you go. Now you have to break out your toes to count the number of followers.
Yes.
Knicks, in this past week, they won the Brazilian championship.
Yes.
And they beat the Wizards. We are 2-0 in preseason. Should be meaningless, but I'm getting kind of excited. And I know every preseason will get excited, but this one I feel like every year we'll probably say this, but this one is different.
I'm seriously thinking about putting in a bet on the over-unders.
I want to talk about all the other over-unders, but let's just talk about the Knicks over-under. What's the Knicks over-under?
I sent that to you.
I know. I thought you had it opened also. I was opening it now. God damn it.
I don't have it open.
I'm opening it. The Knicks over-under is 31.5.
Yeah, I would definitely put money on over 31.5.
How can we put money on this? Legitimately, I understand you can do whatever gambling you want in fantasy sports.
Yeah.
But how do I actually make a bet like over-under on the Knicks?
I am going to find that out this week.
If you do that, how about we go halves on the bet and we both win?
I'm in.
Okay.
Let's do it.
How much you want to bet?
How confident are you on over 31.5?
I am extremely confident. If we can bet 31.5, the line. I bet there's a lot of bets going in that are going to push this number up because there's no way 31.5 is really low.
Yeah, we got to get in on this. You know what? I'll find out tomorrow and we'll do it.
How much do you think you bet?
25. 20.
hit a nickel.
Do I hear 15?
I'll bet 50.
Really?
Yeah, I'll do 50. I'll do 50 if you do 50.
All right, let's do it.
Jay's like, when the show ends, I'm going to talk you down from that.
Next
This
episode,
is
yeah,
the
we
same-
sure did 50 each.
If it's 31 and a half, there is no way this squad's not going to win 32 games.
I would find, unless
I would
Melo's
put
knee
show that-
explodes.
I think if Melo gets injured tomorrow and does not play the rest of the season, this team will still win 32 games.
I'm very confident. Okay, we're going to do that.
It's not a high number. If it was like
No.
38, I'd say, okay, it's a tough bet. 31 and a half games, this team looks pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Have you seen Kyle O'Quinn?
Oh, I've seen Kylo O'Quinn.
Oh, he looks pretty good. By the way, is Aflalo, what's the word for it, not alive?
Yeah, he's got that mystery, thing that at least one Nick always has, where it's like he's got a sore knee. He's going to sit out for 3.5 months.
His knee's a little bit banged up. He's day to day, and by day to day, we mean between this day and someday in April he'll be back.
Yes.
I
know most of our questions are going to cover pretty much every angle we want to hit, so I don't know how.
Let's talk a little bit, and then we'll go to the questions.
Okay.
Be fairness. I want to say though, one thing I don't know if this is in the questions, but one thing I freaking love is that the last couple of years, and I know there are lovers of all these players out there, but I'd always be like, hey, it'd be great if Amari just doesn't play for a couple months. It'd be great if Vargas gets lost in China.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want these guys to get on the court. There's no one in this squad. I'm going to be like, oh, I'm mad he's on the court.
Not even Calderon?
Not even Calderon. Calderon, I want when he's on the court, I'd like someone else. I'd like to have another guard out there that can play defense like Galloway.
Yeah.
But Calderon's he's a 6 shooter from 3-point land. He can pass. He's not bad on offense. He doesn't really penetrate like he used to. And he's terrible on defense. But I don't have the same feeling like I did like having Bargs out there.
Right.
So I'm happy.
Plus, Calderon isn't as hateable as Bargs was.
No, he's just not. He's a little bit older. He's not a great defender. He's a smart player, just not a great defender. He doesn't have the speed to keep up with guys.
Can't wait to see how he looks when he's on this team in 2017.
Well, since we're never going to be able to trade him. I love people. Everyone's like, oh, should we trade him? For what?
Yeah.
Who's going to pay this salary?
Yeah, he's making, what, $8.5 million this year? And
But
next year?
something absurd.
Yeah.
But you know what? He can shoot. A team legitimately said we just need a point guard off the bench who can basically lead an offense and shoot from the outside. He's a pretty good candidate.
Yeah.
If the salary was like $4.5 million, I think we could trade him pretty easily.
I mean, if Beverly gets injured again, I'm sure Houston will give us a call.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he would fit in Houston's offense. So it's not like outrageous where we're like, oh, why don't we just trade Bargs? Because the only team that was dumb enough to trade for him already has him.
Yeah.
And Amari also with his damn contract. But anyway, so I'm excited for the fact that I don't hate anyone in the squad. I actually kind of like everyone's fun to root for. I know you don't love Derek Williams, but that guy's a fun guy to root for.
Here's the thing. Friday, I had an hour between when I came home from class and I went out. And I turned on the Knicks game, and it was the third quarter. And Derek Williams looked terrible. So I started posting on Twitter about how not good he looks. And then apparently he just went off in the fourth quarter. And everyone's like, what are you talking about?
I saw I think I jumped in the game after I got my kids set to sleep, and I saw maybe like middle third quarter on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't understand why Jay posted a negative comment about Williams. Williams looks great tonight.
Yeah, somebody was like, I can't watch the game. His stats look pretty good. And I wrote back like, well, he's failing the shit out of the eye test. But then apparently he passed the eye test later on in the game.
I mean, the deal with him is that basically he's always been a man that's a little bit undersized for his position. He really was too small to be a power forward, not fast enough to be a small forward. Is that kind of the deal?
Pretty much, yeah.
But he has a lot of talent. Obviously, he went number 2 in the draft.
Holy crap! He went 7 for 11.
Yeah, he played really well. He had a nice dunk. He had some good shots from the outside. He looked pretty good. He didn't look bad on defense either.
I think he went 4 for 4 after I left.
Yeah, he has a lot of potential to be really good. And it's not like I know Bargs went number 1 in the draft. So the argument of that he went number 2 in the draft doesn't mean that much, but it does mean he does have some talent, and it's just figuring out how to utilize that talent. And I think he was just on a bunch of loser organizations. No one figured out how to use him. Maybe he wasn't that ready. I don't know. They said when Williams found out he was joining the Knicks, he was like just super thrilled.
Yeah, I saw an interview with him, and I'm like, I kind of like this guy's personality. I hope it works out.
Yeah, he's just. I mean, the only thing I don't like is his hair. His hair looks absurd.
His hair is terrible.
It's not even terrible. It's that I almost don't want him to become like an all-star because that means that trend would catch on because his hair is so bad. But I don't even care. Whatever ridiculous style of hair you want to have, you're easy to identify on the court. At least when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, the guy with the absurd hair. That's him.
This is the first team since we started the podcast, 5.5 years ago, that there's not one guy on the team I dislike.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like Derek Williams, like it's a good story. If he becomes good, if he doesn't become good, it was worth a shot. He has a ton of talent. Like you can see right now that he's got a ton of talent. It was worth taking a shot on him. Yeah. If he works out, he could work out really well. Mm-hmm. Also, Kylo Quinn. I mean, obviously we're going to talk about these guys. Quinn looks like a guy like. Why weren't the Magic giving him minutes? I don't understand.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where they had other players they wanted ahead of him, and he kind of just got buried.
He looks pretty decent on defense. He can rebound. He can shoot. He can pass the ball.
Yeah. I'm very excited about it, Quinn. And my theory on beard power, he definitely increases the Knicks' beard power.
Does Serafin looked really good against Brazil? He's been injured since. So I don't know, but apparently he got mad at Derek Fisher, who was like, I wanted to play against Washington, and Fisher was like, yeah, we want you to be healthy this season, so we're not going to risk it in a preseason game. We'll play Washington again. Don't worry about it.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, which is a pretty much like you don't need to get your revenge during preseason. Whatever reason, he just kind of dislikes Washington because he didn't get a chance there. But he actually looked pretty decent on offense, too.
Oh, that's right. He came from Washington. Yeah, we got a bunch of guys that were buried on other teams that have a chip on their shoulder, which is nice.
Yeah, no, I think Phil said, like, we don't have a lot of money to spend. Let's go for guys who maybe weren't given a chance other places. There's a chance they could, like, rise to the occasion coming here.
Yeah.
If you take a bunch of those guys, if you hit goal with one of these guys, it's like Derek Williams Quinn or Serafin, if any of them merge to be like a really, really good player, then this is awesome. And like it's a decent shot that one of them is going to be pretty good at the very least.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was going to say is, so last season, did we not have bigs?
We had like 10 of them. They were just all the worst.
I remember we were like, we've been talking about Cole Aldridge should be given a chance. Yeah. That's how goddamn awful our bigs were in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Is that we needed to say Cole Aldridge. I guess Chandler was obviously good before, but last season we wanted Cole Aldridge to get more time playing, and he did. He sucked. But we were looking. It was because our bigs were that goddamn awful.
We wanted Jeremy Tyler to like start.
Cole Aldridge, if he showed up for the Knicks right now, they would say, "Listen, dude, you're terrible. You can't even make the Brazil squad. Get the hell out of here."
We wanted Jerome Jordan to play like 20 minutes a game.
Oh, my God. Where are they now? George was on Washington trying to make the squad. George is terrible. He got 12 fouls in 5 minutes.
Yeah, he fouled out in like 8 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Oh, my. And George, we were excited to draft him. We were like, oh, he could be really good. I am glad. I think they had
it was 12 minutes he fouled out.
I knew it wasn't 12 fouls in 5 minutes. But Torrey Murray was on that squad also, right? On Washington?
Yes.
And yeah, he's not that good.
No, he looked good on the Knicks. Just comparing to the rest of them.
We have been grasping at straws, just like trying to. I feel like we finally have a decent team. Let's go $100 a piece, Jay. $100 a piece for the 31.5.
Let's just forward our rent money.
Let's take it 50. 50 is not. We're going to win that bet.
Yeah.
If you can figure out how to place the bet,
I'll figure it out tomorrow. So I thought it was funny. Meta World Peace and Roy Hibbert are on the Lakers. And ESPN's big tweet of the day was, can Roy meets World help the Lakers get back to the playoffs? No.
I like the play on words.
Yeah, but they can't.
Oh, obviously not. I mean, I still don't think Hibbert was the worst pickup in the world.
No, I mean, he's like, what? He's an expiring
contract. He has some talent. He could be decent.
He's a head case. That's the problem.
He is a head case, and he just doesn't seem to focus, and he should be better on offense. He's not.
But the problem is, like, if he has a couple bad trips down the court, he just like, I'm a sad panda now.
You know what? Here's the thing. Yeah, I got a guy like Roy Hibbert. He's a head case. There's some issues. You need a guy that can mentor him, and who's gonna be a better mentor for a head case than Metta World Peace?
In Kobe.
And Kobe. Metta World Peace is like, hey, why don't we just play Parcheesi? And then, like, why don't we just wait, what are you talking about, Metta World Peace? And Kobe's in the background going, Hibbert, you're a piece of shit.
And then Nick Young's just jacking up shots from the half court line.
That team is going to be so goddamn dysfunctional. That I will bet the under for them.
Should we put their thing was like in the 30s too. Should we put another 50 on the under for them?
Let's see do they have all the over unders here? Or they had a couple of them.
Yeah, I can't find it right now, but they did every team.
They did every team?
Yeah, on SI did it. I don't know where it went, but
so the link you sent me wasn't for the oh, here we go. Okay, the Lakers were 29.5.
I would go under on that in a second.
Yeah. I'm not willing to necessarily bet $50 on that one, but
I mean, they're going to get like 23 wins.
Do you want to go every team? Let's go quickly. I mean, I know. Not quickly, I mean, let's make a 3-hour show. The Hawks, 49.5.
Oh, that one's really tough.
Tough. That's under.
I
would be surprised if they get back to 50.
I would say under, but I think that one's close. I mean, they are in the East.
I mean, it's going to be close, but I would be shocked if they get to 50. Celtics, 42.5.
Fuck, that's a really good one, too. I would say
Jay, if
under.
you say every one of these is a good one, I'm going to slap you.
Under.
They're all supposed to be good ones.
Under. Yeah, that's true. They're not supposed to be locks. I'd say under.
Yeah, the whole point is that they're picking the middle number.
Yeah.
I would say under, but it's close.
Yeah.
The Nets, 28.5.
Way under.
I actually think they'll probably get close to it. They're probably going to get close to that, but I'll go under too. The Hornets, 32.5.
Under.
Over. Whatever. Bulls, 49.5.
Under.
Yeah. You get rid of Thibodeau, you're going to go under.
Yeah.
Good. Hey, here's the thing. If I don't know if we're going to talk about this or not. If your boy crush or man crush, Matt Barnes beats the crap out of Derek Fisher, can Thibodeau be the Knicks coach?
Did we talk about that last show? I don't think we did.
We didn't. It happened since last show.
Okay. So apparently Derek Fisher is dating Matt Barnes' ex-wife. Matt Barnes hears about it, leaves practice, and drives 90 miles to punch Derek Fisher in the face.
Do you think the whole time he stayed within the speed limit?
Absolutely. I think he was about 400 miles away, and he made it in 90 minutes. Matt Barnes is insane. I love that guy.
I know you love that guy. Everyone knows you love that guy. The tattoo artist that you go to knows you love that guy. Yeah. First of all, someone pointed out somewhere, I mean, it was on Twitter, they're like, hey, Derek Fisher, as an NBA player, you probably can date a lot of chicks. Why you got to date your former teammate's chick?
Were they former teammates?
Were they teammates at some point?
They might have been teammates on the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Wait, why do you got to date another player's like...
There's a lot of women out there, and you're the coach of an NBA team. You could probably find other women.
You're a 20-year vet. You probably could have met some girls.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Was it Bill Simmons said every single NBA fight is about gambling or women?
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah. So you think does Derek Fisher have a shot in that fight?
No, I don't think so. I would definitely go over on Matt Barnes.
Can Tibbs be the coach if that happens?
I would be a fan of that.
By the way, Derek Fisher, you won like 4 games last year, and now you're starting off by like getting in some like quarrel with another NBA player. You're not that you're following the Isaiah Thomas playbook, but you're not deviating that far.
But in Fisher's defense, he was poolside minding his own business.
In Fisher's defense, they weren't together. Like, it's not like he did anything actually wrong.
Right.
But dude, come on.
Also, I don't know. Like, what do you expect? Like, if you're Barnes, like for nobody to ever date that woman again, or is it just that the fact that he knew who it was?
Jay, we were moving on.
Okay.
Cavaliers 56.5.
Over because there's nobody else in the East.
Okay, so this is about Tristan Thompson. By the way, we were wrong. He's holding out. I don't know if this has been settled since.
He's like not playing. He's gonna play.
I heard he's holding out.
He's gonna play.
I'm not saying he's not going to play. It's a training camp. Who gives a shit? But I think the last thing I heard was he was actually not coming to camp.
Good. The more dysfunction on
they said
that
Tristan
team.
Thompson replaced.
I hope there's dysfunction on that team. I wish them nothing but the worst.
Great. I clicked on an article and they're like, follow this. Go click on this ad if you want to find out what the ad. God damn it! What the hell happened to him? Anyhow, his holdout continues. Anyhow, my big thing here is it's at 56.5. So if Tristan Thompson if Tristan Thompson comes back, I think the Cavaliers will be over 56.5.
Yeah.
But if Thompson does not come back, I think the Cavs will be over 56.5 because I don't think he fucking matters.
Exactly. He's not even starting.
Dude, they offer you like $16 million a year. You're like, I need a max contract, so I've done nothing in the NBA.
Yeah.
Mavericks 38.5.
Under?
Mavericks always kind of pulled together.
They have so many, like, with Parsons and Matthews coming off like injuries and might not be healthy. I kind of worry about that team.
Nuggets 26.5. This is what the most annoying thing of all is. We would be swapping picks with a Nuggets team that sucks also.
Yeah. I might even say under for the Nuggets. They're going to be really bad.
Really bad. They're pinning on their hopes on Moutier, who's probably not going to be that good.
Yeah.
Pistons 33.5.
Under? They always seem to disappoint.
Yeah.
Like ever since 2007, I think they've disappointed every single year.
Yeah. Warriors 60.5.
How many? 60.5?
Yeah. I mean, the thing with this is the Warriors going to be really good. It's just getting the 61 wins is like that's a big number.
Yeah, I would say under. I think that they said no team has won back-to-back 60-win seasons in like decades.
Yeah, I think this is going to be tough. I'm going to go under in that. Rockets 54.5.
I would say over, but like by like a game.
I almost think Dwight Howard has been too normal for too long, and he's going to go back to being like a head case and cause problems a lot.
Well, now he's going to probably start worrying about free agency,
which is going to end up making him worse. So I think the Rockets are going to be under 54.5. Pacers 42.5.
Under.
I'm going to say over.
That one's a no-brainer for me.
Really?
Yeah.
They got Paul George back, and they got rid of Hibbert, so that's like plus.
Is it plus? They have Jan Mahimi starting with like Jordan Hill starting at power forward.
Yeah,
that's their front court.
That's not good at all.
And it gets worse from there.
Clippers 56.5.
Say under. They seem to always underwhelm too.
Yeah.
No. I'm gonna go over. When I say underwhelm, I mean in the playoffs. They seem to always exceed expectations in the regular season and then flame out in the playoffs.
But Chris Paul, it's totally different than Carmelo. I mean, Chris Paul, it's unfair to talk about his total failure in the playoffs. Melo, let's concentrate on that one.
Right. Even though Chris Paul has had a way better team for the last like 5 straight years.
I mean, he's been surrounded by no one. You can't, as long as you don't forget who's on his team, he's been surrounded by no one, Chris Paul.
Can you imagine if Melo had like a DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin as his front court mates?
I love everyone's always like, oh, he's got no one on his team. Have you seen the guys on his team compared to the guys on the Knicks lately?
I think their like 8th man is Stevenson, which would be our second best player.
Yeah. I mean, now I think Melo's finally surrounded by a decent team, but the last couple of years have been awful.
Their like 9th best guy is Paul Pierce, and he would start on our team.
Lakers, we said already. Grizzlies 50.5.
Over.
Heat 45.5.
Over.
Under. Not no brainer. 43 wins maybe. 42.
Wow.
Bucks 43.5.
Under.
Over.
Bucks always
5.
fuck me when I make opinions on them.
This one I feel like you can almost bet on. Actually, this one I'm going to say I almost would have the same amount of confidence in the Knicks one going over in this one. Timberwolves 25.5.
Way over.
What do you mean way over? Like 45 wins?
Okay, maybe not way over. Over. Definitely over.
I feel like definitely over. I feel like I am almost as confident about the Timberwolves tend to have weird things happen, so I could see them going under. Now, how could the Timberwolves not win 26 games? They have a freaking good roster.
I'm about as confident with that one as I am with the Knicks one. I'm
Yeah, that's
very
what I'm saying.
confident about that.
Pelicans 47.5.
Under.
I don't know. You have Mr. MVP. I feel like they should be over.
We went through this last episode. They have a terrible team other than him.
I know you're right. Fine. Okay, say 57.5.
Under.
Yeah. How good do you think KD's going to be this year? Do you think he's going to have nagging injury the whole year, or is he going to be like just fine and we never hear about the injury again?
I think he's going to be fine. If he gets injured, I think he's a yow. Like, this is like all or nothing.
I feel like this is bordering on. I don't see his career being very long from here. I mean, it sucks. I feel like he's a very good player, and I want him to be good, but I don't see it being long from here. Magic 32.5.
Under?
Yeah, I think the Magic are going to suck.
I think that one's close, though.
6. They're all supposed to be close, Jay. That's the entire point of the over-under.
Timberwolves and Knicks, I don't think were.
I agree. Sixers 21.5.
Over just because that's so low, but
That's a really low bar, but the Sixers are going to be terrible again.
yeah. I mean, I could see them winning like 24.
What is their roster right now?
Okafor and a bunch of shitheads.
No, but who are the actual shitheads? I want to look at their last game here, so you can find the.
I mean, do they even have more than like 2 or 3 actual NBA players? I don't know.
I mean, they didn't last year. Okay, looking at this roster right now, just the one that beat the Nets last night. Nets are terrible. You have Jeremy Grant, which is Jerry and Grant's brother, who's whatever.
Worse? Yeah.
Robert Covington, who's like okay. Okafor, they got Isaiah Canaan or Canaan, whatever. his name
Okay,
is.
I just looked. They literally have no other NBA players on the team.
What's his name? The guy I'm pronouncing his name wrong.
Nerlens
Rel-
Noel?
Yeah, where the hell is he?
I don't know.
They got him. How do you have like the number 1 draft pick, or like a top 5 pick every year for the last 10 years and be this bad?
You know what? I'm going to go under. I'm looking at this team.
Where the hell is the roster? I don't understand where you have. What the hell? You have Okafor, Nerlens. Who cares? What's the other guy who's never going to play for them? Embiid is going to be out for another year.
Mm-hmm.
Probably will never play for them, which was a terrible draft pick. They had some other guy they drafted last year. Is going to be overseas again for another year.
Okay, here's the guys that we might have heard of that didn't play. They have Carl Landry.
Who must be like, what did I do to end up in this terrible squad?
Well, he's also 32 and has been injured for like 4 straight years.
Fair enough.
And Kendall Marshall. And that's it. It's a bunch of D-leaguers again. So, you know what? I'm changing it to under. This is a terrible team.
They should just lose their team at some point. Or at some point you go, hey, Philly, your strategy is not working.
Yeah.
Suns, 36.5.
Under.
Yeah. Hey, Suns, you have 3 solid point guards. You want to trade them all? Yeah. Trailblazers, 26.5.
Under.
Over.
Okay.
They still got a good point guard.
Yep. And that's it.
Yeah, that really is. Hey, here's so every team here they list the full name, like Denver Nuggets, Detroit Pistons, Indiana Pacers. The Kings, what would you say about what's their full name?
Sacramento Kings.
You don't think Sacktown? It says Sacktown.
Would they save 2 letters doing that?
Not only that, they just called it the Ball Sack Kings.
Yeah, that too. Well, I guess maybe that's more fitting.
That really 30.5. This one I also think is one of the more. It's a lock to go over.
Yeah, they're gonna go over.
this is a lock. I feel like how is my boy who's the guy they drafted that I really like?
Cauley Stein.
Yeah, how's Cauley Stein been doing?
Okay. Nobody's really had a game where everyone was like, "Wow."
Well, Cauley Stein's a guy that's going to be more in defense. I feel like Cauley Stein, but they should be really good this year.
Towns just played today, and he went 13 and 10. So
well, he's the most underrated number 1 draft pick ever.
Almost identical to Porzingis' numbers.
Okay, Spurs 58.5.
Under.
I'm gonna say under also.
I think Parker
I feel like
is secretly washed up.
No, I feel like they're also a team that like doesn't value the regular season as much as
That too, yeah.
So they're just trying to get in. Raptors 45.5.
Over.
Oh,
Barely.
sweet. Great. Utley was you don't care about this. Baseball, Mets, they're 1-1 in the play. They're 1-1 right now with the Dodgers. The biggest bullshit thing that happened last night. Do you know what happened, Jay?
I saw your tweets.
Yeah, I'm really mad. Did you see the play? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, so do you know enough about baseball when a guy can slide and try to break up the double play?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Mets were trying to do a double play. They throw the guy in second. The guy playing second base for the Mets steps off the bag, and the guy sliding basically follows him. Basically, doesn't even start sliding until he's like maybe a foot away from the guy, and just like throws his body into him. The Mets shortstop broke his leg on the play.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it wasn't even like close to. It gets worse. So the guy basically wasn't even close to trying to slide in the second base. He just wanted to basically injure / break up the double play, broke the guy's leg. Not only does what the Major League rule says, if you try to do that, they call the double play, and it should be over, and Mets should have won last night. Instead, not only did they call the they said the slide was okay, they called the runner safe because the guy playing shortstop who didn't touch second base, but the guy sliding never touched second base either. But they said because there was something weird about how to play on the field. They call him out on the field, then the guy doesn't have to touch second base anymore. And I'm like, the guy he slid, didn't even touch the goddamn base. Anyway, it was just basically it was the difference in the game. They warned the guy. They said the guy was safe. The double play was broken up, and then the Dodgers won the game.
That's insane.
So the Mets basically could lose in the playoffs because Major League Baseball has their head up their ass. They had some kind of weird rule of why the guy was safe. They didn't review in basketball. If there's what's a flagrant foul, they'll review it. Mm-hmm. In baseball, they're like, yeah, I mean, we have this video and we were watching the video, but we just can't really figure out if the guy was trying to murder the other player. So we're cool with that.
Wow.
And they also baseball also just made a rule very recently where they said you couldn't do this to a cat they used to allow like collisions at home plate. They said that's no more, but this play was it was pretty messed up. Anyway, so someone just texted me saying that that Utley was suspended for 2 games, which is great because the guy at least got some kind of penalty. But baseball admitting, hey, we got it wrong. We're going to suspend the player, but that player wasn't even going to really play very much because he's kind of like. He's a has-been at this point. Mm-hmm. And so
basically they still made out better on the deal.
Yeah, here's the constant. I would trade one of our backups for a win in the playoffs. It was pretty fucked up.
Wow. So what do we got left? Utah?
Oh yeah. Anyway, I've been livid about this last night, and I was pretty pissed. Whatever.
We got our first Mets tweets on the Knicks podcast.
Yay. It was important. It was I love the Knicks, but the Mets are in the goddamn playoffs right now. It'll probably never happen again in my lifetime, so I have to. This is important. You'd understand too if you lived in Sacktown and your team went to the playoffs, it'd be important. Hey, where do you want to live? Thinking about moving to Sacktown because Dick Licker Junction is it's filled up now. I don't want to live there anymore. Oh yeah, so we're up to the Raptors. We said 45.5. That's what we're up to.
Yeah, I said over.
Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Probably. Jazz 40.5.
Under.
Not a shot of going over. Wizards 45.5.
Over.
Maybe under. I don't think the Wizards are that great.
Yeah, I think that one's.
I mean, the Knicks just like beat the crap out of them.
That one's a crapshoot.
That one is the. Do you want to try calling China and then get back to it, doing this?
Oh, we got time. It's only 9:30 in the morning there.
Ah, screw them. We're going to do a scam call to China. Or we were trying to get scammers from China to call us so we can record it for our Brink show, but we'll just keep going with the next show.
The Brink of Sanity is our comedy show. You can check that out. We also do that at least every other week. brinkofsanityshow.com, or you can just type in Brink of Sanity on iTunes and get it there. And you can follow us on Twitter, Brink of Sanity 3.
So I couple more notes I wrote down before we go to the questions. What am I going to say? Melo. Remember when I said he was going to be rusty?
Yeah, you were wrong about that, yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of wrong about that. I mean, there's no way, there's no way I could have been more wrong. He looks freaking great.
He does.
I'm like, oh, I miss Carmelo. He's really good. Vucevic. When you see him, you think, oh, it'd be really great if we had
Vujicic.
Vucevic.
I would rather have Vucevic.
What's his name that we love? Who's the guy we're supposed to have on the team?
Shved?
Shved. Would you love to have Shved?
I would. It's still our thinnest position.
Yeah, I think Vucevic. What was it? I can't even say it.
Vujicic?
Whatever the hell his name is. I don't think he's going to be that. He hasn't looked bad. He hasn't looked great.
He's not going to be good.
He's not going to be good.
I mean, I'm glad so far he's not looked like a train wreck. I have no faith that he's going to do anything in the regular season. I hope I'm wrong, but the guy hasn't played in the NBA in 4 years, so.
And he wasn't really that great in the NBA, so I don't know if he's gotten a lot better since.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing I was annoyed about, it's a very, very minor point. I have Cablevision. James Dolan owns it. The Knicks game was on MSG2 last night, on Friday night, and I didn't get MSG2. They're like, you have to pay extra to get MSG2. I'm like, you own both of these things. You can't give us MSG2.
How'd you not get MSG2?
They did give you MSG and MSG Plus on your regular cable package, but MSG2 is part of the Cablevision / Optimum sports package.
Oh, I have DirecTV, and I had it.
Well, I used to have Time Warner, and I had it, but this one I did not. But then I could download the MSG app, and then the MSG app, which only so far Cablevision users can use, you could just log in and get it. So I watched the game on my phone. But it was just weird. I was like, so I don't get it, but if I download your app, I can.
Yeah, that is weird. It's also like, asshole, you own the cable station and the channel.
You have to make more money off of this?
I know. You're not rich enough?
Yeah, come on. You won't give me MSG2? I have to pay more for MSG2 for the one time the entire year. There's one Knicks preseason on MSG2. After that, there's no reason to ever watch MSG2.
Right. I didn't even know that was a channel, actually.
Yeah, I didn't. I need to watch. It's It's for those people that really want to say, hey, I don't just want to watch new episodes of 4 courses with what's his name. I want to watch the reruns.
I think there's an MSG3 now.
What the hell could be on there?
I don't know. Replays of Billy Joel concerts.
Here's the parts of the Billy Joel concert we edited out because he wasn't playing music or on the stage.
Yeah.
Was it 4 courses with JB Smoove? Have you ever watched that?
No, I like JB Smoove in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I think he's funny. I've never seen the 4 courses show, but I imagine MSG2 has lots of reruns of that show.
Yeah.
Hey, you I know we're gonna go I know you want to go to the questions. Remember how we were going to talk about Melo's? We were going to cut to that interview we have of Melo.
Yeah, sure. It's amazing how we always able to lock down these interviews.
It's amazing. It's not. It's not. This is audio we got. It's Melo being interviewed by the New York media.
Okay. Hey, Melo.
I thought you were Melo.
Oh, I'm Melo. Okay. I mean,
hi, Melo.
Restart pre-recorded.
I don't know what happened with the audio. Hello, Melo, New York media. I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Do you think the Knicks can win this year?
We'll definitely win a game.
Okay. Melo, I got a question, Melo. Is it important that you come back healthy from this surgery?
It is very important that my brand comes back healthy after my surgery.
Melo, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it important that you score 20 points, at least 20 points a game, and have offensive success with the Knicks?
Yes, my success is the most important thing for my brand.
I have a question. You're media here. Do you think the Knicks will play basketball games this year, or will they just cry in corners?
The Knicks will play at least 82 basketball games this season.
Are you? No. I have a question. Are you guys playing to win the title this year, or have you already conceded that you have no shot at the title?
Yeah, we're playing for a title. Yep, that's what we're doing.
Is it important to get all 5 players in the court involved in the basketball game?
Well, it's important for me to get involved with my brand. Mellow brand. Fedora power.
I feel like the bit's done, but I feel like it's they ask the dumbest freaking questions. But I do like your responses.
Okay,
let's go to questions.
Twitter.
Hit us with Twitter questions.
NY. We have Knicks podcast shirts that are just sitting in a box.
No, if you're listening to the show, did you know we have shirts we make? I bet you did know. We've never mentioned that before.
It's a goddamn bargain. You could go on Facebook or the New York Knicks podcast.com and look at our awesome shirts. They come in blue and black and multiple sizes.
Have you ever walked by a homeless person in New York City and thought, hey, he'd look good in a New York Knicks podcast t-shirt? You can make that happen.
For just $18, and that's including shipping.
Sir, I may not have food for you or even a quarter to spare, but I'm going to make you look a little better.
And if you want to throw in an extra $5, you can have a Brink of Sanity shirt while supplies last.
You know what? If you were going to guarantee that you're going to outfit a homeless person with a New York Knicks podcast t-shirt, Jay will send you the shirt for $17, not $18. I will cover one of the dollars.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, that being said, George writes, can the Knicks get Kevin Durant this summer? No.
Oh, no, hang on. Yes, they can get Kevin Durant to sign autographs at MSG.
Oh, yeah, they could probably
I
do
assume
that.
that was the question.
Yeah.
Can they get Kevin Durant to come to a Billy Joel concert at MSG? Of course they can. Kevin Durant's a big Billy Joel fan.
Everyone loves Billy Joel.
Everyone loves Billy Joel. Can they get Kevin Durant to
say the word Knicks this summer?
Play the Banana Fana game with the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Can they get Kevin Durant to play basketball in a Knicks uniform only if it's part of a movie that Kevin Durant is now in?
Or maybe a charity event.
Yeah, so other than that, they're not going to get Kevin Durant to do much for that.
No.
There's pretty much no way they're going to get Kevin Durant to. What is, like, can we talk, what would be less likely to happen in the NBA than the Knicks getting Kevin Durant next year? I'm going to say less likely things. I'm trying to think of things that are actually less likely.
Godzilla crushing MSG.
Godzilla wanting a rematch with Charles Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that campaign?
No, I don't.
You don't remember that? Did we talk about this? Do you not remember? They had a whole campaign, ad campaign. It was Charles Barkley was playing Godzilla in 1-1 basketball.
Don't remember that.
It was when the Godzilla movie was released. And then SNL did the greatest bit ever. They mocked it by having Charles Barkley play Barney the dinosaur. And he beat the crap out of Barney.
Was this like a fever dream?
Oh, I'm going to have to Google this. Where's Stat Guy for this? We're the same age. How do you not remember this?
I don't know. I remember I Am Not Your Role Model.
Here, I have the commercial for you. I'll send it to you right now.
Yeah, send it to me because I don't remember him playing basketball against the Velociraptor or whatever the hell you just said.
Do you remember Charles Barkley? You know he played in the NBA?
I do remember him, yeah. He's
You do?
one of my
Okay.
favorite players. You know, if we did the show back in like 92,
I would hate you.
he would have been he would have replaced Matt Barnes as my man crush.
Oh God. Pull it up right now. It's a 30-second commercial.
Okay. This is
great. This is great for, by the way, for a podcast, audio, a visual for audio.
Godzilla versus Charles Barkley. He's wearing short shorts.
Because they look good back then.
Yeah. The Godzilla just put on glasses like Kareem.
Again.
Charles Barkley is very skinny.
I don't know if this even was coinciding with the
Is this even an
movie.
NBA commercial? What the hell is this?
I believe it's a commercial for Nike.
That was weird. That was weird. And of course, your screen goes black in the live room when I try and do anything else on the computer.
You have to Google the Barkley, not right now, but anyone listening, Charles Barkley versus Barney the Dinosaur, one of the greatest SNL bits ever. He beats the living crap out of Barney, and maybe that's ruining it for you, but it's still funny as hell. What are we even talking about?
I don't even know what was going on.
Jerry and Grant, by the way, pretty good with the pick and roll. Has he run the pick and roll more in preseason than the Knicks ran it all last year?
I think so, yeah.
The Knicks didn't run a lot of pick and roll. I'm kind of excited for them to try the pick and roll. It's maybe a newfangled version of the triangle.
How about that? Most basic play in the NBA. Let's try doing that.
Oh yeah, we were talking about things that are less likely to happen than Katie join. Basically, the headline will be Kevin Durant joins the New York Knicks. In other news, LeBron James becomes a woman and joins the WNBA. Just as likely things to happen.
Yeah. Teams up with Caitlyn Jenner to form a dream team of trannies.
Kevin Durant joins the New York Knicks. Martians invade and challenge the Golden State Warriors to a basketball game. Totally just as likely a thing to happen.
Yeah.
Okay,
so questions.
Kevin Durant joins the Knicks. James Dolan announces he has no musical talent and doesn't know anything about the NBA.
Matisse writes, which player on the roster do you think will have the best season? Let's say other than Melo, because that's too much.
Because that really is like, Melo probably will have the best stats.
Yeah. Kylo Quinn.
Well, are you saying best offensive stats?
I'm saying like best as far as expectations.
Who does the most to exceed expectations?
KOQ. Cock. Cock's going to have the best season.
Cock should be from Sacktown. I hope people that are living there aren't like, we live in Sacktown. We are the kings of Sacktown. King Sacktown. Yeah. Well, I feel like if Flalo plays, I feel like he could be pretty good too.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Kyle Quinn though.
All right.
I thought you'd be most excited about Porzingis.
Yeah, but his expectations are all over the place. You know, I don't know if he can. I don't know. I think he's going to be decent. I think he's going to be good. I don't know if he's going to have the best.
He's going to have a mix of nights where he looks like he didn't exist in the stats, and then nights where you're like, shit, he's going to be good.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll get in some foul. He's going to have some interesting nights.
Cock's our man.
Cock is your man. Yes.
So Greg writes, Porzingis' preseason diet, full of misinformation. It says, here's a look at the 7'1" rookie's quest.
Isn't he 7'3"?
Exactly. Quest to ingest nearly 5,000 calories, and it totals up everything he eats, and it totals to 3,900 calories. So if this really is his quest, he's not coming close to 5,000. And it looks like pretty much what I eat for the day. So it's not that much.
You're like, I didn't know that added up to 3,900. Shit.
Well, I mean, like, if you want to eat 5,000 calories, you shouldn't have chicken breast, brown rice, and vegetables for lunch. Because that's like a 600-calorie lunch, and it's not really doing much.
Shouldn't you, if you want to eat 5,000 calories, shouldn't you say, I'll have the number 6 McDonald's?
And dinner is the same exact thing with slightly less chicken.
Yeah, I understand the idea is that he's eating very whatever. They're eating very healthy portions of the calories, and it probably works well because you know what? He's probably going to be in better shape than we are.
You think?
Nah, you're right. We're going to be in better shape.
All right, that's it for Twitter. We didn't get any emails today, which is weird.
That's not a lot of Twitter questions.
No.
I guess everyone wrote their questions on Facebook.
Yeah.
Should the Knicks trade Melo to the Bulls?
For who? They don't have anybody.
Jay, just when you think about this question, remember we're going to get this question every week for the rest of the season.
That's true. The only guy we would want is Jimmy Butler, and they're not going to trade Jimmy Butler. So no.
That would be really odd if they traded with Jimmy Butler. It's not happening. The Bulls don't have a lot of guys to offer. It's just we don't match up well with the Bulls for trading.
No,
The other guy I wanted was Thibodeau, and he's not. You can't really trade it. Your ex-coach.
Rose and Noah are too injury prone, and I don't really want anybody else other than Butler, and they're not going to trade Butler.
I also don't think. I mean, Noah. Even without the injuries, he doesn't fit in that well in this team anymore. We have a lot of bigs.
Right. Yeah, we
Not
have.
that Noah's obviously very good. But.
We have Rolo. We don't need Noah.
Yeah, exactly. More the injury problem. Injuries are the other real issue there. Greg writes thoughts, and he posts a Facebook first take. Stephen A., you don't want to make an enemy out of me video.
We talked about that last episode, right?
Kinda. Well, did we talk about his reply? Yeah, we did kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, why not, Stephen A.? Why don't we want to make an enemy out of you?
Because he'll just make up more lies.
Okay, so more about as unlikely. KD joining the Knicks. Anyone regretting making an enemy out of Stephen A?
KD on the Knicks.
I mean, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, Stephen A? You're going to tell more rumors that aren't true?
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. You got LeBron to Miami. Great.
Yep, it was all him.
Yeah.
Had nothing to do with the collusion that happened.
Yeah. George writes, what was your opinions on the preseason opener and game 2 against the Wizards? Also the performances of the players, performance rating, now that we had a taste of what the team can do, is a top 8 not a realistic goal? Thoughts?
So I'm going to start posting the Knicks roster player rankings again.
Oh, I am actually excited for this.
I will put that on the website.
Let's do your current rankings on the show right now.
Oh, well, I usually put an hour time in, but sure, I'll make it up on the spot.
I'm going to say, when you say an hour time, you mean for the entire season.
Yeah.
You put an hour time in it.
I do. You have no idea how long I debate over like the 8th and 9th spots, whether it should be Jason Smith or Bargnani.
You put some clever stuff in there. It does look like a little bit of work. Yeah. So anyhow, make it up on the spot like it matters. Number 1.
I don't even have the roster open in front of me. Number 1, Melo.
You don't have the roster, and you can figure that one out right away?
I know. I'm a genius.
2.
Porzingis.
Porzingis is the second best player right now on the roster?
No. He is the player with the most power. No, I'll give O'Quinn. 2 is O'Quinn.
I feel like you're going to put O'Quinn over Robin Lopez already and put him over Flalo.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Really? Putting a guy who had a good game against the guy who was injured or a guy who didn't
They're
impress?
preseason games. We also talking
Yes,
about who
that's what I'm basing the power rankings on.
Oh, my God.
Evidence
so
at
if
hand.
O'Quinn had a better preseason game than Melo, would you put him ahead of Melo?
Yes. That's what power rankings are.
No, they're not. They're supposed to be the best. They're just who's the best players on the roster right now.
Oh, well, if that's it, then I'll just make the list now and repost it every week.
I don't understand the. I thought it's a weekly power ranking, right? So it's just like
Yes.
the best players of the week.
Yeah. Which is what I'm
Oh.
doing. You're asking me to put an injured player above a player who played better.
Fine.
You're going.
I didn't understand your logic. Now that your logic has been explained, I understand. Move on.
If I was doing it your way, I would have one list, and that would be the list for the whole season.
That's fine. We post the same exact list. Okay, this week's power rankings, just their performance this past week.
Right. Exactly. Mello.
I understand.
Yeah.
Kyle O'Quinn, number 2. Who's number 3?
Number 3 is Porzingis.
Number 3 should be Derek Williams. He's been on fire.
Number 3 is Porzingis. It's based on 2 games, not 1.
Derek Williams wasn't bad in the first game.
He was not Porzingis good.
Okay, go on.
Number 4 is Grant.
Better than Derek Williams?
Yes, this is my list.
Grant wasn't even that good the first game.
Nope.
Dude, this sucks. I understand now why you need the other 59 minutes.
Yes, exactly.
This sucks.
So what I do is I put my initial impressions and then I debate over it.
I don't even want to hear the. I don't need to know how you make the
Why? Just because I didn't put stupid hair Derek Williams ahead?
Is that his nickname?
Yes,
stupid hair. Yes, come on, stupid hair.
Mark wants my power rankings canceled because I didn't put stupid hair Derek Williams ahead of where he wants him.
You remember the XFL?
Yeah, that was awesome.
So I remember, if those don't remember, it was like Vince McMahon's Football League, and one of their innovations was instead of putting the player's name on the back of the uniform, they put their nickname. I would love to see a game where you see Knicks, and on the top of on the back of the uniform it says "stupid hair."
Remember when I think the Nets did that for one game last season?
Yes, they did actually. I remember. Did the Knicks do it too, or just the Nets?
I think just the Nets, because everyone else looked and said, "Oh yeah, 90% of the players don't have nicknames, so this is stupid."
Yeah, it was pretty bad. No, the were they playing the Celtics? The Celtics did it also.
Not sure.
Okay. Anyway, so the team looks pretty decent. I think top 8 is very, very realistic. What about you?
Realistic.
Not very.
I still think they're battling with the Celtics for the 8th seed.
Not quite. Not. I'm leaning towards this now.
Championship.
Yes. They look pretty good. I mean, obviously they have to play more preseason games before they start playing games that actually matter. Ralph writes, how soon will it be before Calderon is replaced by Grant as the starting point guard?
Game
Good
12.
question. Game 12.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're going to stick with it longer than we'd like.
Yeah. Which is
I think like
11 games longer than I would like.
Evan responds, I was considering this question too. Compared to Grant, Calderon looked very slow and one-dimensional. I think it comes down to how much loyalty Fisher has to vets. I feel like they're going to stick with this longer than they should. I'm going to say it's going to be at least a month.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 months even. Harry writes, can the Illuminati guy help the Knicks win with his contacts? And what if he gets mad and tries to butt rape Mark in the bushes while he gets pizza at 7:36 p.m. on a Tuesday when Papa John's has 50% off large 3-topping pepperoni and sausage pizza with your choice of dip sauce?
So the Illuminati is our last episode of Brink, our comedy show. So check that out if you want to know what that's about.
Yes.
Basically, a guy asks us to join the Illuminati, and we prank call him for 45 minutes. And good times and many laughs were had.
Jay, if I give you a phone number, will you dial it?
Right now?
No, in a couple weeks.
Sure.
312.
Wait. I got buttons to press and stuff.
I thought we were going to do our man on the street segment.
We are. I gotta do stuff to make this happen.
Oh God.
This shit's a lot more complicated than you know. Okay.
312
Mm-hmm.
828
Mm-hmm.
9800.
Thanks for calling Illuminati's on Wells. This is Saria. How can I help you?
Do you think the New York Knicks will make the playoffs this year?
I'm sorry?
Do you think the New York Knicks will make the playoffs this year?
I cannot hear you, so you're breaking up.
Do you think the Knicks will make the playoffs this year?
Oh, do I think the Knicks will make the playoffs this year?
Yeah.
I know nothing about basketball to determine if the Knicks will make the playoffs.
Do you think
Other than the Knicks are a basketball team.
Do you think Porzingis will have a good rookie year?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, they drafted Kristaps Porzingis. He's 7'3". Do you think that will help him be a good basketball player?
Sir, are you ordering a pizza?
Do you think Calderon or Jerian Grant will be the starting point guard by midway through the season?
Oh my God.
I assume she's hung up right now.
Yeah, she's gone.
Okay.
She's definitely gone.
That was a pizza restaurant in Chicago.
Awesome.
Anyhow, our man in the street segment for the day.
That was a good one.
We'll keep doing it every week. Rosera writes.
That's my favorite segment on the show now.
I like this segment a lot. I actually kind of thought when Harry reminded me about it. I kind of want to call the Illuminati guy and ask him. Should we ask him?
Hey, buddy, we're back.
Or should we stay away from the Illuminati guy? We've messed with him.
We're done with him. We got another call to do this.
Okay, Evan writes: is it just me, or does O'Quinn look like he might be a real steal?
Yes, it is not just you.
Absolutely steal of the offseason for the Knicks. I feel like he's maybe one of the steals of just the offseason in general, but definitely for the Knicks. Rosera writes: guys, predictions with PRI dictions on what place the Knicks will stand this season.
Predictions on the I said that already. Battling
Just
for
to
eighth
say
with
it
the
again.
Celtics.
Okay. I'm saying they're guaranteed at least a lock with the 8th, fighting for the 7th. Rosera writes, on non-Knicks related news, I have a male Dominican friend who makes a living tricking guys into selling them used thongs that he sprays with perfume and that he wears to get the, I quote, authentic smell. Sorry, I am in a shock. I acutely bought a pair. Okay, I'm drunk. Friday night. Go to sleep.
Awesome.
I don't know why you filter questions out, Jay. Rosera writes, what things will Jay do to his wife if Knicks make it to the finals? Sexual things with explicit details, please. Jay, this is directed towards you.
No, I don't think she's going to be cool with like, hey, the Knicks won. Let's do anal now.
By the way, Harry wrote, okay, Knicks podcast, do not let Jay read the questions. I don't know why they're so obsessed with me reading them, but I had to deal with it on Brink. No on Knicks podcast. Looking forward to Mark. Thank you, Harry.
What do you mean had to deal with it?
I love how they mess with you. Yeah. Hey, honey. Knicks made some baskets. I'm going to stick things in you as well. Harry writes, still think Sasha was not worth having a roster spot. Looked good to me. Yes, Ralph. I still think Sasha did not deserve a roster spot.
Yes.
I still think we'll all be regretting having Sasha on the spot. Actually, Jay, you should be excited we have Sasha on the team.
Why?
Not me. I mean, maybe me, but you more than anyone. You know who Sasha is. He's Porzingis' mentor.
Oh God.
You do not know this?
No, I did not.
Porzingis, they actually said that he is their his mentor on the team. They play a little bit. I guess in the league in the Euro League last year. When the Knicks drafted him, Vucevic, whatever the hell his name, Vucevic, whatever. Sasha reached out to the Knicks and said like, hey, he's a good pick, and they basically his familiarity with Porzingis is one of the reasons they brought him over.
So he hasn't played in the league in 4 years, and he plays a different position, but he's the mentor. Cool. Sounds good.
Yeah, I think more of like an NBA mentor, not this is how you should play the game.
Right.
Andrew writes, how soon can we trade for Matt Barnes? How funny would that? Phil was like, Derek, you may not like this, but but it's weird. I mean, we got him for almost nothing. So
I have good news and bad news. The good news is we bolstered our weakest position. The bad news is he punched you in the nose 3 days ago.
It's kind of weird, actually. Matt offered to play for free as long as he can get in the room with you. Greg writes, when you act like you're happy to play for the Knicks, but your shadow just won't accept it.
It's a guy in a Knicks jersey taking a selfie, but the shadow in the background looks like a gun to his head.
Yeah, that's Greg. Come on, Greg. Patrick writes, just talk about the guards in general. Like Sasha, I was surprised by him in the first game. I think the team would make the playoffs if Lopez and the other starters stay healthy. We got a bench now.
We do have a bench.
Yeah, we do have a bench.
So
I
nice.
think this team is, deep with the bigs. Injuries will probably hit us, but without injuries, we look pretty decent.
You can tell it's preseason because this is a non-bitter episode.
Yeah, everyone's just happy and excited. We're wide-eyed. We're enthusiastic. The reality of the season has not set in yet.
Yeah.
But I'm still pretty worried about the guards, and I am not buying the Sasha Vucevic crap yet. I'm not even upset to see him. He's not like I'm upset to see him out there like Bargs. I hope he ends up being really good because that would be very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's going to be terrible. I just don't think he's going to be that great.
Yeah.
Ernest writes, man, why you all kick me out of the league?
We didn't kick you out of the league. You ignored our announcement on the site and on the Facebook page about registration. And
We're
then
hoping
the
to
league
get
filled
people. So he was annoyed that Jay just didn't re-up everyone for last year's league.
up. Right. But I
Advanced
can't
league.
just re-up everyone because then I have to start begging for money from everyone.
Yeah. The other thing is Jay was hoping we want to get people who are listening to the show, and clearly you weren't listening that closely to the show because we mentioned it a bunch of times. And if you're listening to the show and you missed it, keep listening.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry you didn't get in if you wanted to, but this is more difficult than I thought it would be trying to organize this.
That's why I have little to do with it.
Yes.
Rosera writes, stop being surprised by Vucicek. You YouTube him. This guy is solid like Jay's constipated log poops.
Okay, great. I think I am going to be surprised by him because he hasn't played in the NBA in 4 years.
I will be surprised by him. He ends up being good. We'll see. I still would rather have Shaved. I think what's the optimistic thing with it? Like, what's the best case here?
For Vujic?
No, for your poops.
I guess that we don't hate him by the end of the season.
I mean, I think like he's a decent role player. Would be like the ceiling here. Versus, I think Shaved could actually be not a star, but could be a little bit better than a decent player.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, he hasn't so far in the preseason. He's hit some 3-pointers, which is important.
Yeah.
Does he play much defense?
He's okay.
Yeah. Hire writes, wow, Carmelo is looking scary good. Dame this guy's jumper on a point. Guess that is how you play when you actually are healthy and have no knee issues.
Yep.
That will be amazing if he plays like this in the regular season. But he has looked real nice so far. Yeah. Ralph writes, O'Quinn did look awesome. Are you excited, Jay?
I am very excited. A guy with a beard playing awesome.
He is kind of the perfect player, perfect addition to the team. Ralph writes, Fisher versus Barnes wins.
Barnes in a landslide.
I'm pretty sure the general public wins. We get to see them fight. When
you are picking a fight, you always have to keep into consideration crazy. Because you could be weaker than a guy, but if you're crazier, you're going to win a fight.
You think Matt Barnes looks crazy? Really?
I think Matt Barnes is crazy.
You know what the funny part is here? So Evan responded with like his answer, and Ralph goes, okay, but I was asking Jay and Mark. Someone posted something on here, and I responded on there, and they're like, yeah, I wanted to hear you respond on the show, not you write me a written response. It's like, okay.
Our page has lots of tudes.
King Jaffe writes.
That's a new name.
That's a new name. Is this for real? No, I was looking at the picture. I didn't see it. It's he has a picture of the guy from Coming to America.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, King Jaffe writes, let's talk about how automatic Sasha's 3 look. And you guys were saying the guy was horrible. You know what? Let's give it a little while. I don't have a lot of faith. If he plays as well as he's played so far, I won't be unhappy.
Not apologizing for knocking the guy when he's only played 2 preseason games.
Jay, has he played in the NBA recently? You haven't mentioned that one. That part. Greg writes, sometimes I feel like an account is just created on Facebook is created. Just ask a question. Ask one question, and then they're done.
That's awesome.
Do you think we'll see King Jaffe again?
I hope so.
I hope so. I like that name.
Is that the same person as Harry and William?
I think they're all the same.
Rosero.
I think they're all Greg.
He now has 4 personalities.
I do think. Yeah. I whatever. Greg writes, in the spirit of Halloween, who would be a great character in a horror suspense movie from the NBA, past or present? I think Kevin McHale would be a great Frankenstein. I mean, his shoulders are like Frankie's.
That is a good one.
I think Greg might have nailed the answer here.
Yeah.
Who else?
George Mirasan would be a better Frankenstein.
That is pretty darn good. Who on the Knicks? Who on the current Knicks will be a good character?
Robin Lopez is Stephen King's
Sideshow Bob.
Well, I was gonna say Stephen King's It, like a scary clown.
Yeah, he could be a scary clown too. I could see that as well.
Mm-hmm.
You think Porzingis? Who could Porzingis be?
Porzingis can be.
I feel like he could be like an oversized, lovable neighbor on a TV show.
I think he could be the. Did you ever see Human Centipede? He could be the
He
science.
could be the anus.
He could be the scientist from the Human Centipede.
That's great. Greg, we're going to move on now. Greg says, thoughts. Meta World Peace says, today's NBA is soft. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
He says the NBA is no longer a man's game. It's no longer a man's game. It's a baby's game. He went on to say something else.
I wouldn't say a baby's game, but it's definitely softer than it used to be.
He said the fans are soft also. I remember when the fans could take a punch in the face and be fine. It's definitely a softer game. It's more about promoting the stars and less about just letting the Knicks play the basketball how they want to play it. Greg writes, MVP, Rookie of the Year, NBA 216 champions, predictions.
We do our predictions episode closer to the regular season.
Oh, just make some predictions. Yeah.
Well, okay, if
Come on, just MVP. Come on.
If you want one without any thought at all,
I want everything out of your mouth without any thought, Jay.
Fine, Davis.
I'll say Davis, Rookie of the Year.
Porzingis.
Didn't we say last year? I thought it'd be Okafor. I still think Okafor probably has the best shot.
He has the best shot because he is on a complete garbage team.
I mean, it's such garbage. He's going to put up points no matter
Yeah.
what.
And somebody's got to rebound too.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of missed shots on his garbage team.
He's going to get stats. It's almost unfair to let him win it.
Yeah.
2016 champions.
I'll go with a back-to-back Warriors championship.
Back-to-back is real tough.
It is.
I'm going to say the Spurs sneak back to the title. Not sneak. The Spurs go back to the title.
The Spurs.
The Spurs. Steven writes, is Porzingis going to be a superstar?
Yes.
I'm not ready to call him to say he's going to be a superstar. And he's not going to be this season, obviously.
Oh, no, not this season. But
I'm not going to say superstar yet, but I am now under the belief that at the very least, this guy's going to be very good.
All right.
Borderline all-star.
That didn't take long to turn you around.
I'm watching this guy. I mean, outside of the injury concerns, which are just about him being tall, he looks pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I'm getting more impressed with him.
Good.
It's helped to actually see him play.
Yeah.
Steven says you got to refresh the page. Like 10 questions. Really? We have 10 new questions in the last 5 minutes, Steven? What the?
All right, speed round because Jay drank some beer and now has to go to the bathroom.
Okay, hang on. I'm going to find the 47. He's right. Holy crap.
Unbelievable.
I don't know where to find. I assume they're at the bottom of the list.
Yeah,
okay.
they got to be.
We'll go a little fast. I thought we were almost done, actually. Okay. Thanks, Steven. Steven writes, hashtag we the North.
Awesome.
What's he talking about?
Raptors.
Oh. Fantastic, Steven. Steven, over under, caring. Is anyone going to care about the Raptors? I'm going to go under.
I'm going to go under. Way under. That's a lock. That is the bet of the day.
Steven writes, do you guys like... Just tell Jay to go to the bathroom. We don't want to rush. No,
we want to rush because then we can do our bonus content where we call China.
We're calling China, Steven. I'm just going to stop reading his direct message.
Calling China.
Steven writes, do you guys like Slam Magazine? I don't really read it. Do you read it?
I didn't know magazines still existed.
Yeah, I feel like magazines, why would I buy a magazine these days? Steven writes, would you guys want DeMar DeRozan? The Raps are likely looking to trade him.
No, you could keep him.
I'll take him, but do you want Sasha Vujacic for him back?
Yeah. How about Jose Calderon? I would
if
do
you'll
that.
take Calderon, we'll take DeRozan.
Calderon and Vujacic for DeRozan. I would do that.
DeRozan's good, so we will throw in Calderon and who else I want to get rid of? Okay, yeah. You know what? We'll give you not that I want to get rid of him, but we'll give you early and Calderon for DeRozan. Deal. Do it now.
It's 2 for
Steven
1.
writes.
2 is more than 1.
Steven writes, you guys were down on the Damari Carroll signing. Which also I feel like hurts the Hawks, and one of the reasons I'm putting the Hawks under.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were down on the Carroll signing. Now he's putting up beast numbers. Preseason for sure, but you're wrong. What kind of numbers is he actually putting up?
Not beast numbers.
I want to see what beast numbers equal.
You're going to be disappointed if you look.
He said beast numbers, so I assume he's putting up like 30 a game, something crazy.
I mean, I guess, if you mean a beast like a marmot who doesn't really have opposable thumbs, it is impressive.
Okay, so I'm going to go look at the Raptors played the Lakers. The Raptors, where's the goddamn box score? What? Why can't you just... All I want to see, you're on the Raptors website. I click on it, and I can't even find where it says box.
Raptors.
This is how...
Carroll had 18 points on 6 for 10 shooting with 6 rebounds.
Wow. How did he do that all in one game?
What a beast.
Wow. You're right. That is beast numbers. We're sorry, Steven. We'll never. Signing of the decade.
Right now he's mailing us anthrax.
Come on, Steven. He's not a bad signing. He's a pretty decent player. You overpaid for him, obviously.
Well, on the game before that, he had 15 points on 5 of 12 shooting with 5 turnovers and 2
5 of 12. That is something like 42%, which is unheard of.
And 3 rebounds. 3.
Yes.
Beast.
In fairness, if you put an actual beast in the game, like say a giant gorilla, he probably would have less. He probably wouldn't do as well.
He would probably have fouled out before he got those 3 boards.
So in some ways, DeRozan is going better than beast numbers.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to round out the first preseason game, he had 6 points on 2 for 4 shooting with 0 rebounds and 5 fouls.
5. Maybe he's fouling like a beast. Do you really want to call it beast numbers? I lost the thing. I have to go back to Facebook.
He wrote "fuck y'all" in the chat room.
Did you really have to say you put up beast numbers? I also just said he was a decent signing. I think you overpaid for him. He's a pretty good player. But
yeah, let's settle down on the beast talk.
Okay. No more beast talk.
I mean, how did he get all 6 of those points?
Okay. You guys said he would have to down year, plus the TV money coming. His contract's a bargain. You're right, Steven. It's an amazing signing.
Yes.
I mean, he is a beast.
I mean, nobody could get 6 points like he could.
No one can contain a beast.
Except Norman
5 for 12
Powell.
Shooting is insane. I just said he's going to be not as much. Basically, you paid him big money. He's not going to. He was a solid 3-point shooter. Doesn't do that much more. Plays some defense. And that's what you're getting, basically.
And he's a beast.
Okay.
That was the thing. He was worth 10, but the extra 6 was beast money.
The extra 6 is to pay for beast eat a lot of food. Steven writes, if KD were to sign with the Raptors next summer, how jealous would you guys be? I would not be jealous, Steven, because the beast next to him might eat him. And then he'd be like, I'm sorry I signed Carroll because he's a beast and ate Kevin Durant. Steven, why in God's name would anyone want to sign there, Steven? It's a lovely country. KD can afford his own health care, so he doesn't have to go there. Steven writes, Steven, please don't hate us. We love you.
Don't murder us. You're our favorite.
We love you, Steve. Steven writes, I heard that Jay's favorite player is James Harden. True.
So false.
Yeah, his favorite legend is Larry the Legend Bird.
Harden is pretty much everything I hate about basketball: flopping, ball hogging.
I think he knows that.
Yeah.
Steven writes, why does Jay masturbate to Matt Barnes? Dude is ugly as fuck. So, Steven, are you implying that if Matt Barnes was attractive, Jay would be totally right in masturbating to him?
I'm only a fan of NBA players who are hot.
I don't know why he has a man crush on Barnes. It's kind of weird. Steven writes, is Porzingis going to be a superstar? I'm going to say he's going to be better than DeMarcus Carroll. DeMar Carroll.
Cool.
Steven George writes, Jay, did you get a boner when KP hit the 3-ball?
I got a half job.
Okay. Steven writes, how pumped is Mark about the Mets Game 1 win? Hashtag fuck Los Angeles. I am so excited about that game, and I'm so pissed about Game 2. But they suspended Utley for 2 games, and that's totally fair. Mets lost a playoff game, but your backup second baseman is not going to play the rest of the series. Totally fair. Isn't it also suspending him afterward, just admitting we made a mistake?
All right, we went through this already.
Okay, screw you. Harry writes, let's go live show. William writes, how do you guys feel about the Canadians?
Everyone I met from Canada
From Canadian?
from Canada has been awesome.
Your Canadian country's amazing.
That's the beer talking. Everyone I've met from
Canada's
Canada has
great.
been awesome.
Yeah, Canada's great. I've spent many a bachelor party in Montreal and enjoyed myself every time.
I know people from Calgary, and they're very cool.
William writes, am I the only one who noticed Seraphin dick print in his shorts? That boy packing.
Yes.
Yes, William, you're the only one noticed that. William writes, Kristaps is looking okay if he were a number 13 draft pick, but he is for a number top 4.
Would you rather him get 2 points like Okafor?
I don't you draft a guy not for like season 1. You draft him to have his first career.
Yeah.
Guy's gonna be.
Yeah, let's settle down.
He looks like he's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah.
He's 7'3" and athletic. Come on. William writes, Mark, what prescription drugs are you on? Am I supposed to be on prescription drugs?
I don't know.
I am not actually on any prescription drugs. Jay?
Nope.
William, what prescription drugs are you on, if you're going to recommend some to us? William writes also, why is people saying Sasha is a bad played? He is decent. He won 2 championships. He won 2 championships and made big shots to help contribute YouTube him. That alone counts for experience.
Charles Barkley made the finals in 1992, so he should be on the Knicks too because he had a good championship run.
Barkley wants to come back. I'm going to give him Sasha's spot. You know what? We're not like hating on him. It's just he hasn't been he was never that great in the NBA. Has now been out of the NBA for 4 years, so we're a little skeptical about how good he's going to be. Not convinced after 2 preseason games, but hey, if he's good, that's great because we really need to get some guards.
Yep.
Rosera writes, you guys don't want to have Stephen A. Smith as an enemy.
I know. The rumors he could tell about us.
Do you know how happy I would be to make if Stephen A. Smith was mad at the New York Knicks podcast?
That would be absolutely amazing.
It would be unbelievable to be an enemy of Stephen A.
I've been trying to troll him on Twitter. It's not working.
Does not work. Grant writes, can we pray to the basketball gods before the season opener?
Yes.
Yes. Harry writes, who is Jay new want to give his butt crush to now that Matt Barnes won ape crap in Fisher?
Why?
Not on, but in Fisher.
Why would that change my opinion on Matt Barnes? I hated Fisher as the entire time he was an NBA player. So that only makes my love for Matt Barnes stronger.
I am not. Steven has asked me to answer 2 more baseball questions. I'm not going to refresh.
No, I'm doing the pee-pee dance, so we're not.
We're almost done here. Harry writes, if you asking about trading Melo, you are effing idiot, and you should effing kill yourself for real. With that question, come see me straight out of Compton. I'm gangsta. Triple OG. Ga ga ga. GG unit.
There was no question mark, but you said it like a question.
I love when people are like, you should kill yourself for that. People like, can you imagine someone's like, I asked a question that was kind of stupid. Like, I killed myself. Sorry, mom. And apparently, the guy, Utley, who got suspended, appealed the suspension because he's a giant asshole.
Wow.
If he didn't think it was wrong to try to like break a guy's leg on the play, he's not going to think it's wrong to appeal the suspension.
Right.
either.
Right.
Harry writes, Calderon is a scrub. I can't believe he is Mark's blowjob crush. Yep, you're right, Harry. Harry writes, can Mark turn on his My Friend app so Steven can track him down? No. Harry writes, can we hang Jay and make him get ass raped by a big black dude if Porzingis does not work out? Actually, Jay's already signed a contract saying he'll do this.
Mm-hmm.
Iman writes, will Kyle O'Quinn start the season if he has a strong preseason? Will he be a starter?
I don't think he'll start the season, but he may end up in the starting lineup.
I would be shocked if he started. Wait, what?
He may end up in the starting lineup before the end of the season. But
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said he may not start the season, but he may end up.
My brain just
as a
melted
starter.
out my nose.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I went completely insane.
Yeah, so I would say. You think Porzingis is going to be in the starting lineup to start the season?
No, I still think it's going to be Derek Williams for some reason.
There's no good reason. Williams hasn't done any more in the NBA than Porzingis has.
He's been in the NBA the longest out of the big men. That's why I think he's going to be in the starting lineup.
Or do you think they might go like 3 guards?
No, I think our starting lineup is going to be the 5 guys who've been in the NBA the longest. It's going to be Calderon, Aflalo, Melo, Derek Williams, and Lopez.
Because they could replace Derek Williams and go like
Anybody else, yes.
Galloway or
They could. I don't think they're going to, but that's just my guess.
okay.
That being said, I don't think that'll be the starting lineup like 10 games into the season.
You're saying, Jay, that the Knicks are going to have a starting lineup in Game 1, and that starting lineup is not going to be there for 82 straight games?
Well, I mean, some teams do that.
Yeah, they're called good teams. We root for the Knicks.
True.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I got to pee really bad.
Okay, I'll refresh for the baseball question. What did we learn today, Jay? Let's end the show.
We learned that we hate 0 people on this team. All right, so what did we learn today for the next podcast?
We just finished the Brink episode because we had the scam call from China in the middle of it. So we're back to the Knicks show. What did we learn today?
I got to say, the downloads have been very good.
Jay was just bitching on the Brink podcast about the downloads being bad. But here the downloads are good, so now Jay is happy.
I just went from sad to happy in 2 seconds.
What was your question, Jay?
I said, what did we learn today?
Oh, we learned that, let's see. Utley takes out Tejada with a slide, breaks his leg.
Okay. We get it. We get it. He's a jerk.
Okay.
Utley's a jerk. That's going to be the name of this episode. Utley's a jerk.
That should be the name of the episode.
I'll do it.
What else? What did we learn today? We learned that, like every preseason, we are very, very, not every preseason, but we're a lot more optimistic than we are during the regular season. And this year is different than all other preseasons. This year, we really have a reason to be optimistic. It's every year this year is different, but this year really is different.
Yeah. And there's nobody on the team we dislike.
We learned that I have come around a little bit to Porzingis.
We learned that Carroll is a beast.
Carroll is a goddamn beast. That was my favorite part of the episode, Steven. Carroll is a goddamn beast. If Carroll has a good season, feel free to rub it in our face throughout the entire season.
You better pray he does, or else we're going to rip on how beastly he is.
If you find Carroll out back of the Raptors arena eating out of the garbage can, that's probably because he's a beast.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back next Sunday. Goodbye.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. You better go away. I'm gonna leave you. It's the end. Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye. I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye. Goodbye, girl. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Everybody.
Hey, the live room's still open, right, Jay?
Yeah.
Steven, I'm sorry I failed you. He said, God damn it, Mark, you failed me. I can't keep finding question after question. I'm sorry, Steven. At some point, I have to just cut off the questions. And they were baseball questions, which I know piss off Jay, but whatever. And then Harry writes, hey, I want the private direct message Steven got to. I don't need Harry direct messaging me during the show also.
Because then William and Rosero will too, because they're the same person.
It'll be just the entire, all the questions we get is going to be direct message after direct message. It's going to drive us insane.
How about just join the actual live chat room?
Join the live chat room. That's where you're allowed to ask questions that annoy Jay, because since he follows it, I don't.
Hi, this is Maury Moreland Morrison, here to tell you Geico has more than just great savings. Much more. Yes, while Geico could help you rack up more moolah faster than you can say metamorphosis, they've also been the fastest growing auto insurer for more than 10 years. That's more like it. Furthermore, Geico has fast and friendly claim service. That might seem like an oxymoron, but it's not. All the more reason to say no other auto insurer has more than Geico. Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.